So in this video, I'm going to talk about a final restraining order and how we resolve it. So there are two main ways by which a final restraining order by which a restraining order with temporary restraining order, right? It either gets dismissed at trial or if you win a trial, it becomes a final restraining order. Of course, the other way is to resolve it through a civil restraint. So I'll discuss these different ways in this video. In order for a temporary restraining order to become a final restraining order, both parties go to court. The judge holds a trial, and he hears evidence. He or she has the evidence from both sides. The the individual that is seeking a restraining order must prove two things. Number one, it must demonstrate that there was what's called a predicate act. There was an incident that violates the Prevention of Domestic Violence Act 1991 in the state of New Jersey. Remember from our other videos, in the list of items that a list of activities that are classified as domestic violence acts are in that law, whether it is stalking, harassment, assault, kidnapping, etc. Okay, so there must be a predicate act. Number one, there must be, and one of those acts in the law must have happened. Number two, there must be a fear that unless the restraining order is granted, the action will continue into the future. These are the two elements that you have to show in order to win a restraining order. And of course, if the individual is unable to show these two things, the other party wins the case and the case gets dismissed. There is a second way by which we handle restraining orders. That is through what's called a civil restraint. Sometimes it'll be called a consent order because it's technically a consent order by both parties, but it's also called it's more formally called a civil restraint. A civil restraint is basically an agreement that both parties negotiate, right? And both parties, with the lawyers, get together and they discuss what do you want to make this go away, right? In some cases, the couple, whether the couple is cohabitating, right, living together, um, one party might say, "Well, I want you out of the house, and I want the cat." Right. The other party might say, "I want my box of cards," or whatever it is. Or I want to see a child on Tuesdays and Thursdays if they have children. Or, whatever terms that they need from each other, they negotiate these terms. And after these terms have been negotiated, there is actually another step, which is there is an official that sits with the alleged victim, reviews the process to make sure that he or she is not being coerced or forced into accepting these terms or into dismissing the case. Because if you resolve the case by a civil restraint, the restraining order gets dismissed. Okay, and once the official is satisfied that the alleged victim is not forced, coerced, or pressured, or whatever into taking these terms, the parties go before the judge. The judge reviews everything, and everything gets entered onto the docket. It becomes an order that both sides are required to follow because it's technically a court order, even though both sides negotiated. So these are the two main ways by which a restraining order is resolved. If it is important, however, that in order to resolve a restraining order by way of a civil restraint, you need an attorney that is skilled in trying cases. You have to understand what you're looking for and how to use these things to show the other side that it may not be worth it to go to trial, right? So many times we arrive at court and we're ready to go, the evidence is ready, our witnesses are there, and both sides talk, the lawyers look at each other, and they're like, it's not worth trying this case. It is what it is. But if you don't have an attorney that can present a case at trial convincingly, then the power of getting a restraining order of getting a civil restraint basically doesn't exist. Right? You can't leverage it for that. Well, this is attorney Ade Omojola from Omojola Law. Search us on all your search engines. You'll see our information, website, locations, etc. I'm looking forward to solving your legal problem. Hello, this is attorney Ade Omojola from Omojola Law, right here in Newark, New Jersey. I've been practicing law for over 14 years. I cover the areas of litigation, immigration, domestic violence slash family law, and DUIs, driving under the influence. Please search Omojola Law, that's OMOJOLA, into any of your favorite search engines, and it'll pull up our website, our location, and our contact information. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Again, this is attorney Ade Omojola from Omojola Law, located right here in Newark, New Jersey, and I'm looking forward to solving your legal problem.